seemed like they were finishing a lot of checks tonight, maybe more than they had in the first 3 games. What did you think of that, and did you like his response to that kind of in between the whistle physicality?
They were physical up in Vegas in Game 2. It was a pushback sort of response game, and they came out early and created some loose pucks for themselves and transition. So they have the ability to do that. If we move the puck quicker, we don't put ourselves in those spots a little bit, right? So it's on us to make sure. It's playoff hockey. We're the final 8 teams in the playoffs here. If you're not ready to play and don't expect that, then you're in trouble. And we talked about that. We're going to have to play north. We're going to have to get moving. And early on, we didn't. We didn't play fast enough to avoid some of the physicality that you're going to have to endure if you're playing slow, and that's what happened.
In Game 2, towards the end of the game, you said you got out-teammated. I'm wondering how you felt about the end of this one.
Well, we stuck together. We played together. We supported one another to try to get back in the game in the third period. That was our goal. I mean, it's 4-0, or you still have a chance if you can sort of break through. So we tried to play the right way, but also make sure that understand that there's games left in this series. You still have to finish checks if they present themselves and play the right way. And I thought we tried to do that. At the end, I'm not going to comment on every penalty at the end because there's a lot going on. But at the end of the day, we did a good job in that regard. Hager got he got put in a tough spot. He travels all the way in from the blue line. Before you know it, he's in self-defense mode and did a pretty good job there. And I think our guys were trying to help him out. But at the end of the day, I didn't mind the way we stuck together tonight. We just didn't start the game the way we needed to beat a good hockey club.
Were you disappointed by the special team, the power play?
Our power play generated some good looks. I got to give Skinner credit and them for blocking some shots. And so the last play, which has been the product of is where we've struggled on the power play all year, is the last play to finish the play. We weren't able to do it tonight, but I thought we were in zone a lot. We one draws to stay in the zone. Our entries were fairly clean. We just didn't finish, and we needed to tonight. We needed it. I thought our PK was better. They got an early one, obviously, that, we'd like to do a better job there. But all in all, our power play didn't allow us to get back in the game when we needed it. Timely goals, we've talked about that a lot, so that would be the disappointing part.
Theodore had a bit of a rough start, and he just hasn't maybe looked like the same impactful player that he did during the regular season. What do you think he needs to, what do you think is the biggest key for him to get back to his game?
Well, Theo has to have an attack mindset. He's a dynamic player that when he has the puck on his stick, he's got to try to impact the game without being reckless. And, it's a little bit at this time of the year. You see it with different players. Some of them embrace the moment more than others, and maybe others get nervous or think too much. And I think Theo just has to get back and play and does what he does best and live with the results. I mean, we've talked to him about that. He missed some time late in the year, but he's up to speed now, and he needs to be better than he was tonight. And especially if, against a team that decided they were going to forecheck, right? So he's a puck mover, so he can really counter some of that. And so that's what we'll encourage him to do. Wasn't there tonight, but, Friday's a new day, and he has to be that guy for us. It's what he does best.
Bruce, you said Friday's going to be a new day. I'm just curious, the way this one ended, it just seemed a little bit more ratcheted up a little bit towards the end. How does that carry over, if at all, Friday?
Well, how do you mean exactly, ratchet?
Just in terms of Nick Hague dropping the gloves and everyone kind of getting tossed toward the end.
I mean, the other night in here there was some of that stuff at the end of the game. I mean, there was a cross-checking penalty. Maybe not at the end. There was a slash on Petro, was there not, at the end of the game the other night when they were behind. So, I mean, I'm watching games last night. There's stuff going on at the end of the games. It's a bit of what happens in the playoffs. And I don't know what else to say on that. We talked about the start of the series. The temperature goes up as the series goes along, and it went up tonight. And probably go up some more in Game 5. It's just the teams that can keep their cool the best and play hard between the whistles and avoid some of that. And I don't mean at the end. I mean, we took a couple of retaliatory penalties during the game that we don't typically take. And as I said, you get a few cross checks. If they miss that, and that upsets you, you got to take a number sometimes. And that's where we did take a penalty early on a retaliatory play that those are the ones that, you know, they ended up scoring on, right? We killed the first one. After that, they bury it. So that's where the discipline has to come in, and I think that's where we needed to be better early on, knowing that, you know, this was probably coming.